A girl shows up in Paris with stars in her eyes and a suitcase packed with designer clothes.
Sounds like a déjà vu.
A girl shows up in Paris with stars in her eyes and a suitcase packed with designer clothes.
Okay, maybe more than just a suitcase.
She is young, smart, talented, and very American. Same city, same fashion stylist, same producer. Yet I couldn't help but wonder, why do we love Carrie in Paris while we absolutely love hating Emily? So let's figure out which of the two girls scores more points and gets the golden medal for the best Parisian experience. Remember the Breton stripes Carrie wore from head to toe when she first stepped on the French soil? This is how she envisions French style. Chic, elegant, spiced with a nautical theme from Chanel. She enters the Plaza Athénée Hotel on high heels, her eyes sparkling with excitement for adventures in the City of Light. However, this picturesque tableau is immediately shattered by the image of a true Parisian. Meet Chloé, the young daughter of Alexander Petrovsky, a true portrait of a Parisian girl, just as we know her from countless clichés in magazines and social media. Slim, pretty, long messy hair, a cigarette, and that Parisian look she gives to her potential stepmother, oh tellement délicieux. By the way, I have a video where I explore the myth of a Parisian girl, digging into stereotypes and misconceptions surrounding this iconic image. If you want to know what a real Parisian girl is and what she is not, I'm leaving the link below.
Hideous. Just hideous.
Carrie desperately tries to blend in and makes her first faux pas.
Boyfriend troubles.
Oh, well, that's my department, so tell me all about the bum.
In France, everything is fine with personal boundaries, hence Chloe's reaction when she literally freezes Carrie with just a look. From what I observed, personal boundaries are also generally respected in the US, where people tend to give each other personal space and privacy. So let's attribute Carrie's behavior to her nerves and anxiety about meeting her partner's offspring right after a 7-hour cross-Atlantic flight. Unlike Carrie, Emily is here to impress. Straight from the airport, she arrives to her fake chambre de bonne in casual attire, wearing a red plaid shirt. But on the very first working day, well, something wicked happens. According to Patricia Field, with her outfit, Emily wants to demonstrate her excitement and enthusiasm for being in Paris. Apparently, for Emily, being enthusiastic means wearing a shirt with the main touristic attraction and her new geographical location written all over the Louboutins. This choice of attire contrasts so much with the understated elegance of Parisian fashion that her colleagues look appalled. Don't get me wrong, Emily has the right to express herself in any way she wants, no matter how shocking it is for some French people. Who cares after all? Just in case you were wondering, it's impossible to walk in Paris in Louboutin shoes. Believe me, I tried. The cobbled streets, narrow sidewalks, and high heels are not a good match. Emily represents the adventurous spirit of someone eager to embrace a new world, even if it means making a few mistakes along the way. So while her style might be shocking to some, it's her individuality that truly shines through. 1 point for Emily. Carrie has always dreamed of Paris, and now she has a chance to live in this city with absolutely no headache as to the apartment hunt or job search. She is moving in with the man she loves and who can take good care of her, well, at least financially. Everything seems perfect on the surface, but from the very start, something feels off, like a missing piece in an otherwise flawless puzzle. Alexander Petrovsky is a man of many talents. He is exceptionally gifted, wealthy, and an amazing dancer. And yet his biggest flaw is that he is not big. Carrie leaves her friends, her apartment, and her New York lifestyle behind to literally start over with a boater hat on her head and fingers crossed behind her back. No points for Carrie. Don't follow a guy with no backup plan. Emily, on the other hand, is coming to Paris to pursue her career ambitions and is leaving her boyfriend. And it comes as no surprise as it's 2020, not 2003. Guys are everywhere, but the chance to live and work in Paris is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The opportunity to live and work here is a dream for many, and Emily is seizing it with both hands.
And just like that, Emily gets 1 more point.
Carrie must have learned French with Duolingo because she can speak to curtains but not to human beings.
Les rideaux de fenêtre. Aye, a little slower, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, but of course.
But either because of anxiety or sheer determination, her French becomes decent pretty quickly, 1 week later to be precise.
J'ai laissé un message. J'ai perdu mon collier. Carrie? No? Mon collier, Carrie?
And the more her Parisian life goes downhill, the more fluent Carrie becomes. By the time Big disrupts her life,
Once again,
with his
oh so unrealistic.
comeback, Carrie is almost ready to write for the French Vogue. Had things gone differently, she might have become the next Garance Doré by the time Instagram became a thing. 1 point for making us believe that French is not that scary. As for Emily, she knows such words as bonjour, merci, and très wonderful. But because it's 2020, it's not a big deal because we have Google Translate now.
Il fait magnifique travail.
En anglais, Casse did. He does a wonderful job.
Still, she makes an effort going to a French class, which we do appreciate. But either the class is not worth her money, or she's too distracted by something else, but a dozen horrendous outfits later, she is still lost in translation. As for the infamous boulangerie scene, I'm not quite sure why she didn't greet the lady, as she obviously knows the word bonjour, and especially since American people are known to be a pretty polite nation. I guess she forgot her manners because of the same thing that ruined the entire show, a lack of substance, that is. Anyway, by the end of the first season, the second, the third, it looks like Emily is stuck in a loop, repeating the same cultural blunders and never truly growing.
Cœur perdu. J'ai besoin beaucoup toi parler et entendre.
0 points for 0 effort.
Emily may be stuck, but Paris is a movable feast, so let's move on.
Back in 2003, Carrie continues to morph into a true Parisian girl. Her second outfit is all black, and she wears straight hair. Apparently, French women consider curly hair less sophisticated. And during Carole Bouquet lunch scene, can we stop for a second and admire this God's creation? So during the lunch scene at Kong restaurant, Carrie is wearing all black with her hair made up in a bun. She can almost pass for a local now, except that she still has a way to go with ordering wine a French way.
Oui, merci. Je prendrai un verre de vin.
La même chose.
Yes.
D'accord, très bien.
She may look French on the surface, but we all know that deep inside she is still our daffy New Yorker. Carrie's experience in Paris reaches its most poignant moment when she loses her iconic Carrie necklace. The necklace is obviously a symbol of her identity. And the scene highlights just how lost she feels in a foreign city. This moment is deeply endearing because it captures the vulnerability of being out of place in a city that is both beautiful and overwhelming. I remember walking the streets of Paris 20 years ago with a needle in my heart after realizing that there is literally no one in the city I can call or surprise with a visit. Unlike me, Carrie at least had her fashion moment, embracing the city's essence with large polka dots and new-look dress in muted colors. She suits the Parisian landscape so well that when she sits quietly on the embankment, a passing tourist mistakes her for a local. 1 point for Carrie for being so relatable. As for Emily, she now has bangs. As for the rest, she stays true to herself, running around in clashing patterns and bright colors, often reminiscent of a colorblind experiment gone awry. Absolutely no development, which is unforgivable in the era which brought us a human Barbie. Warning: the following picture may induce visual discomfort or seizures in viewers. Now that's better. In the third season, Marilyn Fitoussi, who replaced Patricia Field in the role of a stylist, said she was ready for the criticism. "You will always be tacky for someone and a goddess for someone else," she said. "It's a lesson of tolerance, it's a lesson of freedom, and that people can decide whatever they want."
If Emily wants to wear a red beret, let her wear a red beret. Just don't do it yourself. 0 points for being more static than the Eiffel Tower.
Let's talk about the main character of our essay, the city of Paris. The way Paris is shown in Emily in Paris is all glitz and glam, with picture-perfect scenes, cute cafes and non-stop chic adventures. It feels like a Disneyland where Emily breezes through her days, barely scratching the surface of a real Parisian life. On the flip side, Sex and the City gives us a more real and layered view of Paris during Carrie Bradshaw's stay. Sure, it's still beautiful, but we also see its rough edges, with Carrie dealing with loneliness and feeling out of place. The weather is shitty, as it is the case in Paris for almost half of the year, and this year was particularly bad.
What is this thing shining in the sky?
Paris in Sex and the City isn't just a backdrop. It's like a character itself that mirrors Carrie's inner struggles. The rain-soaked streets and grey skies add emotional weight, highlighting the complexity of Carrie's time in Paris, which is a stark contrast to their eternal summer in Emily in Paris. 1 point. In Emily in Paris, the weather matches the carefree, dreamy vibe of the show. Sunny days, clear skies, and perfectly lit streets. The weather is mostly just a backdrop, adding to the fantasy-like view of Paris. While Emily dazzles us with her relentless energy and a wardrobe that could blind the Eiffel Tower, it's Carrie who walks away with the crown. Why? Because Carrie's Paris wasn't just a fairy tale. It was real, it was messy, and it showed us that even in the most beautiful city in the world, life isn't always picture perfect. Emily's Paris is a fantasy, but Carrie's Paris, that's a story we can all relate to, even if we aren't wearing Sonia Rykiel or dating a millionaire. So there you have it. A girl shows up in Paris with stars in her eyes and a suitcase packed with designer clothes. We've seen it before, and we'll see it again. Earlier we saw Emily moving into her luxurious chambre de bonne, but had the show been true to life, Emily would have to squeeze into 9 square meters and do her business in the shared bathroom.
Sounds not so romantic, right? If you think that you've seen it all, think twice and go check my video on the Parisian micro apartments, which will make you feel like the king of France. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Au revoir!